There are moments in your journey when building a business, a company, when turning your passion into an income, when you encounter resistance, when you feel like you're struggling, when you doubt what you're doing, you're not sure if you're doing the right things, and you have all of these questions come up, and your nervous system can get into a tizzel, get tied up in knots. And all it takes is hearing a loving reminder, a really powerful message from somebody who gets it, somebody who's further along on the path, who knows what it is to be in your position, who reminds you of the things you need to be reminded of, but also shares a message with you that gives you insights, things that you haven't thought to look at, things that you didn't even know were important, and something in you shifts. What was doubt then becomes clarity. What was stress then becomes calm, because you're reminded why you're doing what you're doing, but you also have insights you didn't realize you needed to have. And that's what this episode is about. Whether you're just starting up and you're building the foundations, everything is new, there's lots of unknown factors, there's lots of novelty, or you already have a business and you're in a position right now where you want more freedom. You want more headspace, like freedom in your head, in your nervous system. You don't want to be holding so much stress anymore, but you also want more financial freedom and time freedom. So if you've already got a business, how you're running it right now, it might be going pretty well, but you know things have to change to allow you to have more freedom. So whether you're in the first position or the second position, today's episode is going to be so incredibly useful. So welcome to this week's episode of your Power Packed Podlets. My name is Rachel, and I'm your business coach and mentor that teaches you from a spiritual perspective. Whether you run a spiritual business or you are a business owner who's spiritually inclined, you're going to love everything that's shared in these podlets because it's a holistic approach. It's not just about strategy. It's also about how is your business part of your spiritual path and your spiritual growth? And how do you also look after yourself? How is this building a relationship with you where you honor your needs, you honor your body, you look after your nervous system and your health? So this is what you model to your loved ones and to your clients. What it is to be in integrity with you. What it is to believe in yourself and the mission you're here to play out, to live out. So today's episode is actually a really important one because it is a mindset shift and an identity shift that is going to lead you towards feeling very safe within yourself whilst making plenty of money. So I'm sharing this with you from the perspective. You may have heard me say we had our first six-figure year, that the school had its first six-figure year last year, 2025. And 2026, there's been a big shift within me, a big shift. I've understood things I wasn't ready to understand before. I hadn't lived enough of certain experiences to get this. So I'm sharing this with you from this perspective of, I now have my business structure in place. Okay, so the last X number of years, this is really important. You might want to write this down, because the foundational part of your business, to get to a point where you can not only earn six figures, you can earn multiple six, you can earn seven figures, and your business structure doesn't really need to change. Yeah, let me say that again. I've now built a business structure, like I never knew I could do this before. I built 3 businesses prior, one which didn't go well, 2 which went really well, but none of them had the structure that would allow me to double, triple, quadruple, even quintuple my income without having to give more of myself. So I'm now at a place in my business where the structure is built, where I can make a lot more, and all that's required is some increase in leadership, increase in nervous system capacity, maybe some tweaks in contracts, some tweaks in how we're administering certain spaces within my company, but it's not major changes. The powerful, strong foundations are already in place. So I want to talk you through what leads you to that point. What do you want to be focused on prior to that? So I'm going to be giving you lots of insights today. So you might actually want to listen through this once and then come back and listen to it again. Now, if you're wondering, I'm going to give you this and you can go away and do it yourself, but this is what I support you with inside the school. So I teach you how to do this in real time. I support you as you navigate implementing it and as things are working or not working, so as to guide you through when it's not working, what to do, what to adjust, how to pivot. Why? Because I've been there. I've been in your position. So I know what it is to navigate it. And I know what it is to mirror back to you, how to find your answers within yourself. But first off, let me talk you through the process. So initially, what led me to this point is understanding what it is to build a business model that does not have a glass ceiling. Because how I ran my business before, for me to make more money and to give more value, it required I give more of my time and more of my energy. I was running my business like a service provider, with the identity of a service provider, not the identity of the owner of a company. So I wanted to bring more value to my clients, but it required I give more energy. And, we have a cap in how much we can give before we have to step back and actually tend to our own needs. And so here I was with this hunger to serve more because I knew all of this capacity that I had to help people, to make a difference, or to help people help themselves, must be in. And yet I had this cap in how much I could give of my time and my energy. But there was also a massive cap of how much money I could make. So the first big shift it was an identity, all of these beliefs I've been holding, but also in my business model. So I now have a business model where I can give so much value. I can provide my clients with everything that they need in every moment that they need it to be able to create the business that they desire, but also to shift the stuff within them that's getting in their way. Like nervous system, overload, overwhelm, anxiety, self-doubt, all of that, whilst teaching them leadership. But I built my business in a way that I don't have to constantly be switched on for them to get that. So this, for a lot of you, is understanding how to create that. How to create a business model where you can give so much value to your clientele. Like, I now know exactly what my clients need to get to where they want to go, and I'm able to provide them with all of the tools and the resources without me having to be constantly switched on. So what is it for you to learn how to set up your business in that way? And how is that going to change how much impact you can have? Yeah, because I'm now able to have more impact and actually give more things to my clients that serve them, because I'm not having to constantly give more of myself. So that's number one. Secondly, I got super, super clear on the problems I solve for people. I know my ideal clients. I've got 3 specific client avatars, 3 specific groups of women that I serve, and I know them so well and so in depth. I know how they think, I know how they feel, I know how they move, I know where they're at with their identity, I know what blocks them, I know what they need to get to where they want to go. And so can you imagine the level at which I can serve those clients? Because I know them in depth. So this is one of the things when you're running your business, when you know your clients so deeply, not only does it give so much clarity to you to know exactly how to serve them, you're able to serve them on another level. Now, as you're navigating this, what's going to come up for you? As you're building the business model and you're getting clear on the clients, all sorts of stuff comes up. Who am I to do this? Imposter syndrome, blockages with the leadership, like wavy boundaries. This was a big one for me. Learning to be clear with my boundaries, learning to feel neutral and safe within myself, clearly saying no when no was the right thing to say. Not just for the client, also for myself. and not having like nervous system wobbles. This is a really big thing on your journey, is feeling safe within yourself, your nervous system not having a stress response with every decision that you make, with every boundary that you set, with every payment that you request, like all of the things that we're doing whilst navigating our business. What difference would it make if you felt completely calm and at peace with everything that you're doing, including failing? Could you imagine when things aren't working in your business and there's a period of money is not coming in, and yet you're super calm about it, and you're able to navigate that with complete calm until on the other side, because you're able to see how differently would you see your business when something isn't going how you wanted it to, but you're completely calm. How differently would you see that situation? How much more easeful would it be to find the solutions? Because this is the piece. There are many other things. And I think for today's, because it's a podlet, right? It's not a podcast. I think for today's episode, this is maybe the last thing to share with you. Maybe some other things that come through. If you know me, you know that I end up wanting to give more value. Is when you have the identity of the owner of a company, and you also have the identity of somebody who trusts themselves. You identify as trusting yourself. This is when everything changes. Because you are able to see things from an eagle view. You're able to fly over everything that's happening in your business and your life, and you're able to see it from a completely different perspective. Your nervous system is calm rather than in survival mode as you're making decisions, because you have the identity of the owner of a company and somebody who trusts themselves. Because you always find a way. Because you do. Because this is your life, and life is beautiful, and you trust the unfolding. You trust your capacity to learn, to grow, to adapt. You understand, and this is the spiritual aspect, you understand on your journey of growth that it's normal to encounter obstacles, because there are lessons required for you to learn, for you to grow as a human being, and for you to grow spiritually as well. And so rather than resisting the challenges and making up stories about them, oh, it's because there's something wrong with me or somebody like me, blah, 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 the stories we tell ourselves, you can actually surrender to the challenge. And you can face the challenge with courage and belief in yourself and an open heart. How much does that change the experience? Because on your journey to that place I was talking about, where you have no cap on how your business can grow and how your income can compound, everything preceding that is these things. Yes, it's strategy, like business model, like offer suite, like ideal client, niche, all of that. Yes, of course, that's the structure, that's the foundations. But it's also the spiritual path. It's also surrendering to the lessons. It's choosing to become, choosing to see that every single challenge and obstacle is an opportunity for you to meet yourself, an opportunity for you to learn what it is to release like fear out of your nervous system, trauma out of your nervous system, lack of belief in yourself out of your nervous system, so that doesn't hold you back anymore. This is what expansion means. Where there isn't that contraction in your body of trying to survive, because you're able to switch on thriving. You're able to go from fight or flight to rest and digest, and you're actually able to live your life and build your business from that place. So when you're in these initial stages, embrace doubt. Embrace the stress. Face the stress. Don't run away from it. Look at it. Get curious. Ask questions. When you can lean into the hard parts and not run away from them or make them bad or wrong, this is when you become invincible. It's when we make the hard parts bad and wrong, and we label stuff. This is good, that is bad. This is wrong, this is right. This means I'm a good person, this means I'm a bad person. When you're labeling, those of you who meditate, you will have heard this analogy, right? You don't label stuff, because by labeling it, you limit. You limit your human experience. You limit your capacity to grow. Let go of the labels. So you can go off and do this yourself, of course. What if? What if you decided to be somebody who not only has a business coach and mentor, also has a spiritual coach on your path? I'm not saying that has to be with me in the school. My suggestion is, if you are spiritually inclined and you are building a business, don't just go for one, go for both. That you can learn the strategy, you can learn the logic, you can learn the structures and the systems, whilst also learning what it is to build a relationship with yourself, which is the epicenter of everything you create. How you think and feel about yourself is the place from which everything in your life is birthed. Because you are seeing everything through the lens of who you are today. If this message resonates for you and you want support on your path, then the School of Holistic Success and having me as your coach and mentor is going to feel like coming home. It's going to feel like remembrance. It's going to feel very expansive as well. And it will probably feel triggering at times. And this is not a bad thing. It's not bad to be triggered, because underneath every trigger is a lesson. Underneath every trigger is literally your next level of leadership and growth. And so for those of you who choose to join the school, yes, it's about expansion, and there will be times you feel triggered. And this is where you are guided to face those parts of self, to meet those parts of self, not to look away from them. I'm going to leave you with one last message. Like I said, I like to continue to bring value. And I think next week's episode will focus on this, because there is the awakening of the head, there is the awakening of the heart, and there's the awakening of the gut. And in the school, we focus on all three. Because when you are able to understand the awakening of all, because what is the awakening of head? It's mind awakening. The awakening of heart, it's frequency and connection to all. The awakening of gut is the awakening of the body. Yeah, you're having a human experience in physical form. So when you can understand the awakening of all three, this is when everything changes. And this is what is happening globally right now. So many people waking up to this, and it's very exciting. Don't you want to be a part of it? So through your business and what you do, you are also a part of this change that is happening in the world. So we have 2 membership options for joining the school. We have 3, in fact. The third is to become an affiliate. For that, you would need to have a conversation with me directly. So you can join us in the school at level 2, which includes the awakening level and purpose and impact. So awakening is about, it's not about seeing like beings, as Carl Jung said, it's about bringing the unconscious to conscious awareness so that you can wake up from the dream that causes you to suffer. It is about removing suffering. It's not avoiding pain, it's removing the suffering in life. Level 2, purpose and impact. This is all about how to build a business that has purpose and meaning for you, that creates positive impact in the world, and that gives you financial and time freedom. Our second option is tier 3, which is the certification. This is for those of you, you may already be a coach, you don't have to be, but you have a deep interest in learning, in personal development, and in the science and the spirituality behind all of the things. You don't have to take the certification to become a master coach and spiritual mentor. Some of our women take the certification purely for the desire to learn. We go through all of the elements of the human experience, mind, body, soul, and how to coach and mentor clients and yourself. The biggest part of this journey is really about you doing it first. You understanding subconscious programming, you understanding identity, you understanding the spiritual path through your own personal experience. I won't mention, I'll give you a general idea of pricing because it depends on when you're listening to this. Our current prices are €7,500 for 12 months in level 2, which is an insane price. If you're building a six-figure business, multi-six-figure business, €7,500 to learn how to do that is nothing. I recommend staying for multiple years so that you're supported as you navigate all of the growth. Now, most of our clients stay with us for 2, 3, or 4 years. Level 3, the certification is currently €10,000. You get certified at the end through the Academy of Holistic Success, and that is what is on your certification. Once our website is ready, you will be featured on our website as certified through the Academy of Holistic Success, so people can see what you are certified in and what you have been learning. You can have monthly payment plans as well. It is a 5% increase on the full price if you break it down into 10 monthly payments. Reach out to me if you'd like to discuss the options, or you can go on to my Instagram, and the link in my bio has our brochure and it has the links to all of the memberships. You can sign up directly, and as soon as I see that you've come through, we'll onboard you to the school. I look forward to receiving any questions you have, to seeing those of you signing up. I look forward to sharing this journey with you again, or sharing this journey with you, and then meeting you again in next week's Power Packed Podlet.